You've arrived again, haven't you? Drifting between thought and no thought, between wakefulness and the soft edges of sleep. Here, in this quiet, the stars begin to listen. And so do you. Take a breath. Not with your lungs, with your attention. Let it flow out, like gravity surrendering to the void. Because tonight, the universe doesn't want to explain itself. It wants to whisper about you. Not the version you show, not the one made of morning smiles, plans, and polite responses, but the version behind all that. The shadow, the echo, the hidden twin walking just behind your light. You may not know them well, you may have even tried to forget, but they know you, intimately, eternally. And I am just the voice guiding you inward. So let's begin, not with fear, but with curiosity. What happens when you close your eyes and ask the night, what am I hiding from myself? Carl Jung, a quiet rebel of the psyche, once said that each of us carries a shadow. Not evil, not broken, just unseen. The shadow is not a monster. It's the drawer you never open, the hallway you never walk down, the dream you pretend didn't shake you. It is your anger when you say, I'm fine. It is your longing when you pretend not to care. It is your guilt, your envy, your rage, and strangely, your power. Not because it controls you, but because you gave it away. Jung believed that to become whole, you don't just walk toward the light. You walk through the darkness. You reach into the abyss and shake hands with it. And when you do, you don't lose yourself. You find yourself. Not the self others taught you to be, but the one made of stardust and scars and dreams buried beneath the ego's mask. Tonight, as your body softens and your breath deepens, I want you to imagine that your soul is a galaxy. And in this galaxy, there are stars you've never visited, nebulas swirling with memories long forgotten, planets that carry your pain, moons that reflect your forgotten joy. And in the center of it all, a black hole, not destructive, not terrifying, just unknown. That is your shadow. And like all black holes, it doesn't destroy. It pulls things in, because it wants to reveal something, a truth, a feeling, a story you were too young to understand, but never stopped carrying. So tonight we will not run, we will float, through thought, through memory, through starlit shame and glowing grief. And when the silence speaks, you will listen. Because buried in your darkness is not a demon, but a guide. The part of you that never gave up. The part of you that remembers who you were before the world told you to forget. Close your eyes and imagine this. You are a child of the stars. You were born not on Earth, but in a pocket of the universe where time still sleeps. No names, no rules, just essence, pure, untouched. You laughed before you knew what words were. You loved before you understood who was worthy of it. But then you fell, not like a punishment, like a seed dropped into soil, earth, family, expectation, language, and with that came a mirror, 1,000 mirrors, each one held up by someone else, parents, teachers, friends, culture, religion, strangers. And each mirror said, this part of you, we like this, keep it. This part, too loud, too weird, too soft, too much, hide it. And so, like a galaxy folding in on itself, you began dividing. This is me, this is not me. I am kind, not angry. I am smart, not confused. I am strong, not needy. Piece by piece, the unacceptable parts were sent away, not destroyed, just buried. You learned to smile even when you wanted to scream. You learned to perform while your true self watched, silently, from the shadows. That is how the shadow is born. Carl Jung didn't see the shadow as evil. He saw it as exiled, parts of you that were thrown into the basement of your psyche because the house upstairs didn't have room. But the thing about basements is, they don't disappear. They store. They wait. And in the quiet, they whisper. Not to scare you, but to remind you, and I am still here, and I matter. Now breathe. Slow, like dust settling on a forgotten bookshelf. Because here's a secret. Every shadow begins with a wound, but it ends with a gift. Your anger holds your boundaries, your sadness holds your depth, your jealousy reveals what you desire, even your shame. It shows you where you were never loved properly. These are not flaws, these are maps, galactic maps to the places within you that were silenced before they could sing, and now they are ready to be seen, not judged, not fixed, just seen. So imagine this now. You are floating through your own mind, through the unconscious, a dreamlike nebula of soft colors and old memories. You pass your first heartbreak, still glowing faintly in blue. You pass your forgotten childhood toys, orbiting like small planets of lost innocence. And then you see a figure, not far away, not threatening. It has your eyes, but a different posture. It looks like you, but it carries something ancient. This is your shadow. And tonight, you are not here to fight it. You are here to walk beside it. Because here's what the cosmos knows, what the stars already accept: light without shadow is flat. Wholeness requires contradiction. The moon is beautiful not because it glows, but because it reflects. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be real. And in that realness where there is rest, sleep does not ask you to fix yourself. It simply invites you to soften. And as you soften, the shadow softens too. Because it was never your enemy. It was the part of you that waited through all the noise and for this moment of silence. You're still here, good. You've walked through memory, you've met the figure behind the mask. Now, you're ready to listen, but not with your ears, not with your logic, with something older, something primal, instinctive, symbolic. Because your shadow doesn't speak English, it speaks in dreams. Close your eyes again and remember the last dream you had. Not the surface, not the part where you forgot your shoes or missed your flight. Go deeper. Remember the texture, the symbols, the strange animal in the hallway, the faceless man in the mirror, the child crying in the red-lit room. They weren't random. Carl Jung believed that the unconscious uses dreams the way poets use metaphors, not to hide meaning, but to reveal it safely, because truth, when it's too raw, can burn. But truth as a story, that can heal. In dreams, your shadow becomes a shapeshifter. Sometimes it's a snake, not to scare you, but to awaken a part of you that's been sleeping. Sometimes it's a storm, not to destroy, but to force you to finally take shelter inside yourself. Sometimes it's your mother, or your younger self, or a door that will not open. The unconscious is a cosmic oracle. It gives you riddles because it trusts you to be curious. You were not meant to decode everything. You were meant to listen with your whole body. So tonight, don't try to understand your dreams. Let them pass through you like stars across your inner sky. Let your inner world become a theater of forgotten messages. Let it speak in color, in sound, in symbol. Because the more you allow it to speak, the less your shadow needs to scream. There's a reason people have visions in sleep. There's a reason prophets, artists, and poets all speak of the night like it's a womb. In the stillness, the soul unbuttons its coat. It stops pretending. It becomes a mirror for all the things the daylight won't show. Jung called this the individuation process, not just becoming yourself, but becoming your whole self, which means integrating both the conscious and the unconscious, the good and the dark, the seen and the hidden. Imagine the universe as a great dreaming mind. Galaxies are its neurons, black holes are its sleeping thoughts, and you are one of its most vivid dreams. But even the universe has a shadow. Even it has forgotten corners, missing energy, dark matter that no one can explain. And maybe, just maybe, that's why it created you. Not to conquer darkness, but to understand it, to become the bridge between shadow and light. Now here's something gentle to carry with you. The next time you feel pain, don't rush to erase it. Ask it, what are you trying to show me? The next time you wake from a strange dream, don't dismiss it. Write it down. Stare at it like a puzzle from a past life. Because in those images, in those strange visitors and shifting rooms, your unconscious is handing you a key, not to escape, but to come home. So let yourself drift now into your own myth. Float into the stories your soul has been telling you since before you knew how to listen. They're not nonsense, they're sacred. And the shadow. It's not trying to haunt you, it's trying to free you. There is something older than you inside you. Older than your memories, older than your name, older even than your family's story. And if you sit quietly enough, if your breath slows and your thinking mind fades, you'll feel it. Not as a thought, but as a presence. Like ancient wind beneath your skin. Carl Jung called them archetypes, the ancient patterns of human behavior that live beneath your individual story. They are not your personality. They are your psychic ancestors, and they are part of the shadow too. You see, your shadow isn't just made of pain or repressed emotion. It's made of roles you refused to play, instincts you denied, power you disowned. Somewhere inside you is a warrior, a healer, a child, a mother, a magician, a trickster. Each one waiting, each one silenced by the life you were told to live. You may have rejected your warrior because you were taught that anger was dangerous. You may have buried your lover because vulnerability felt like a risk you couldn't afford. You may have locked away your sage because wisdom has no room in a world chasing speed. But the universe whispers, everything you are avoiding is everything you are becoming. Now breathe in and imagine your inner world as a temple in the stars. Each corridor holds an archetype, each chamber a forgotten piece of you. You walk slowly, barefoot on cold stone, and in the first room, you meet the shadow child, eyes wide, mouth silent, still holding the grief of promises broken before you knew how to spell trust. You kneel, you look into its eyes, and for the first time, you don't turn away, because this time you're not here to erase the pain, you're here to witness it. That is healing. In the next chamber, you meet your dark feminine, not a woman but an energy, chaotic, creative, sensual, intuitive. You had been taught to fear her, to call her weakness, or madness, or sin, but she is none of those. She is your ability to feel without apology, to destroy illusions with one look of truth. She is Kaylee, she is Lilith, she is the womb of stars, and she has waited lifetimes for you to recognize her. In another chamber, you meet the wild man, bearded, barefooted, glowing with raw instinct, not violent, but vital. He is the part of you that knows how to say no, how to stand still, how to howl beneath the moon without asking for permission. You left him behind when they taught you to be nice, to sit still, to shrink. But now, you remember. You remember you are not only light, you are lava, you are root, you are fire in the bones. These are just a few of your inner archetypes. There are dozens more, and none of them are evil. They only turn dark when they are denied the light. The trickster becomes manipulative only when it's not allowed to play. The lover becomes obsessive only when intimacy is starved. The warrior becomes destructive only when its sword is locked away instead of honored. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." So tonight, we stop calling it fate. We start calling it return. A return to the myth you were born from. The one your bones still remember. The one the stars still sing about when no one is listening. You are not just a person. You are a cosmic story, told again and again in symbols and silence. And when you close your eyes tonight, you do not fall asleep. You rise inward, toward wholeness, toward integration, toward every piece of you that was once left behind. And there, in that reunion, you are no longer dreaming. You are awakening. In every ancient story, there comes a moment when the hero must descend, not into war or conquest or glory, but into darkness, into a cave, a sea, a grave, an underworld. The Greeks called it Hades. The Sumerians had Ereshkigal. The Egyptians, Duat. Even in the Christian myth, Christ descends into the underworld before resurrection. And Jung believed this wasn't just mythology, it was psychology. It was your soul's ancient memory of healing itself. So here we are now, floating between starlight and sleep, and you, yes you, have just crossed the threshold. You are no longer wandering the surface of your mind. You are beneath it, in the catacombs of memory, the rivers of repressed feeling, the chambers where old selves still echo. But do not fear this descent. This is not punishment. This is initiation. You are not falling. You are returning. The underworld is not hell. It is a womb, a place where old identities die so new ones can be born. It is where you meet your pain not as an enemy, but as a guide. And just like Persephone, just like Inanna, just like every hero who has walked this spiral path, you are not meant to stay down here. You are meant to rise changed, but first you must be emptied. Jung said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain, because consciousness isn't light, it's truth, and truth often arrives as grief, as rage, as regret, as tears you forgot to cry. So let them come. This is your sacred underworld. You are allowed to weep here, to scream here, to whisper your real name, the one you buried to fit into a world that praised silence over soul. Now listen carefully. Beneath the noise of memory, there is a voice. It doesn't speak in words. It speaks in knowing. It says, you are not broken, you are becoming. That's the paradox of descent. It looks like collapse, but it's really clearing. Like a forest fire that awakens the seeds that only grow in ashes, like a star that explodes just before it gives birth to 1,000 new suns. Let yourself burn now. Let the masks melt. Let the ego shed its polished skin. Because underneath it, beneath the performance and the pretending, there is something terrifyingly honest. Something that never needed approval, or applause, or filters. Your soul. It has always been here, watching you from the shadows, patient, compassionate, unmoved by your attempts to avoid the truth, because the soul doesn't want perfection, it wants integration. It wants all of you, not just the polished parts. In this underworld, you meet your shame, you meet your jealousy, you meet your unspoken trauma, and if you are brave enough to look them in the eye, they will not attack you, they will bow. Because pain does not want to hurt you, it wants to transform you, and this is your moment. Not to rise yet, but to remember who you were before the forgetting, before the masks, before the noise, before you were taught to call your soul a symptom. Breathe. You are not alone in this descent. Every mystic, every sage, every prophet has walked this path, and not one of them rose without first touching the bottom. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are exactly where transformation begins. The ancient alchemists believed that lead could be turned into gold, that something base, heavy, impure, could be transmuted into something divine. But Jung saw something even more radical. He said, the alchemists were never working with metals, they were working with the soul. They weren't melting gold, they were melting the ego, they were transforming suffering into wisdom. And now, so are you. You're not here to erase your shadow. You're here to integrate it, to take its hand, pull it out of exile and bring it home to the light. Not to fix it, to honor it. Because the parts of you that were rejected still belong to you. And maybe, just maybe, they were never wrong. Just misunderstood. Think of your shadow like the moon. It doesn't glow. It reflects. And in that reflection, you see your truth. You see the anger you buried, because they told you anger was ugly. But your anger isn't ugly. It's a boundary trying to speak. You see the sadness you numbed because they said, be strong. But your sadness isn't weakness. It's a signal from your soul asking to be held. You see the envy you suppressed because you wanted to appear above it. But envy isn't evil. It's a mirror showing you where your desires have been silenced. This is what Jung meant by integration. To feel without flinching, to own your shadow without shame, to stand in the middle of your contradictions and say, this to him is me. So now in this stillness I invite you to try something soft, something brave. Repeat it, not with your voice, but with your breath. I do not reject my shadow. I sit beside it. I do not fight what I feel. I listen to it. I am not here to be pure, I am here to be whole. You are not a broken puzzle, you are a constellation, and constellations are made of both bright stars and the darkness between them. Without that darkness, you would see nothing. So what if your wounds weren't mistakes? What if your shame was just a doorway? What if your fear was just your power, disguised as a warning? Alchemy is not loud, it is subtle. It happens in silence, in sleep, in dreams, in whispers that say, "You are not what happened to you, you are what you choose to become." And in this moment, beneath the noise of the world, you are choosing, not to run from who you are, but to finally see it, to light a candle in the basement of your soul, and not be afraid of what it shows you, because the truth is never ugly, it is just uncomfortable until it becomes liberating. You are already transforming, right now, in this breath, in this stillness. You are no longer fractured, you are remembering your original shape, not the one society carved for you, but the one your spirit drew long before you were born. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to become someone new. You only need to reclaim what you've always been, a soul with roots in shadow and wings of light. There are parts of you you still haven't forgiven. You know this. There are memories that sit heavy on your chest at night, moments you replay in secret, choices you wish you could rewrite, that thing you said, that silence you held, that time you abandoned yourself to be accepted by others. You haven't made peace with it, not really. You've just kept walking, hoping it would dissolve behind you. But the universe has never asked you to walk faster. It has only ever asked you to pause and turn around. Because back there in the past you fear is not punishment, it's a lost child. And it's still waiting for your eyes to soften. You are not here tonight to fix the past. You are here to forgive it, to forgive yourself. Not in a dramatic gesture, not in some grand apology, but in the most sacred way there is, by sitting quietly with what once hurt you and saying, "You don't have to carry this anymore." The universe does not record your failures like a courtroom stenographer. It only asks one thing: did you learn? Because learning is the real gold of every wound, and learning doesn't always look like wisdom. Sometimes it looks like shame, like falling, like getting it so wrong that you could never forget. And that's okay. You weren't supposed to forget. You were supposed to grow roots there, in the soil of regret, because that's where the medicine lives. Carl Jung believed that the shadow was not evil. It was honest. It is the part of you that remembers what your ego wants to erase, not to hurt you, but to remind you this was part of your becoming. There is no flower without soil, and there is no soul without sin. But sin is not always wickedness. Sometimes it's just misalignment, moments where you abandoned your true self to survive, and you did survive. That matters, even if you paid for it in silence, even if the cost was your own trust. But now, here in this stillness, you are safe. There is no one to impress, no one to prove anything to. There is only you, and the vast forgiveness of a sky that has never once held your shame against you. Because the stars do not punish, they simply shine and whisper, "Even your darkness is sacred." So let's go further in. Let's do what few ever dare. Let's forgive. Take a breath, and when you're ready, breathe into the memory that still aches, the version of you that you have avoided, the one who made the mistake, or didn't speak up, or lost their way, or betrayed someone, or yourself. And instead of judging that version, hold them, not with blame, but with understanding. Say it, silently. You were doing your best with what you knew. You didn't have the tools, but you were trying, and I see that now. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering with grace. It means seeing the shadow and no longer turning your back on it. Because when you bring love to the place that once burned, you become something rare, not healed, not perfect, but whole. The universe forgives you, not because it's merciful, but because it sees your soul from above time. It sees the arc of your story, the stumbles and the sparks, the sleepwalking and the waking, and it knows this too was part of the path. And now that you've walked through it and you don't need to carry it, let it go like exhale, like ash, like old light fading into dawn. Close your eyes again. Let silence spread like moonlight in a forest. Now listen, not to me, to everything, to the hum behind your thoughts, to the pull in your chest, to the space between your breath. That's not emptiness. That's the cosmos inside you. You are not imagining it. You are remembering it, because the great secret is this. The universe isn't out there. It's also in here. When Carl Jung studied symbols, dreams, and ancient myths, he found something shocking. No matter the time, no matter the culture, humans everywhere were dreaming the same dreams. A snake, a well, a tower, a woman of light, a man in the cave, a god in disguise, a descent and a return. Different stories, same archetypes. He realized, we're not just personal minds, we are shared consciousness. Each of us is a mirror reflecting a piece of something vast, something cosmic. So what does that mean for you? It means when you feel alone, you are never really alone. It means when you explore your own mind, you are exploring the galaxy itself. Every emotion is a planet, every wound a crater, every dream a solar flare. And somewhere deep in your psyche, the stars are speaking. Not in words, in images. Because the soul doesn't think, it sees. Look around your inner world now, not with logic, with intuition. What do you see? A mountain, a bird, a dark hallway, a flickering candle, an endless ocean. Don't dismiss it. These are not random. They are messages. Your unconscious is showing you your truth, the same way the universe shows us itself, through metaphor. We look into telescopes and see spirals of light. What are galaxies if not neurons of a sleeping god? We see black holes pulling everything in, just like trauma when it's unhealed. We see stars die and give birth to elements, just like grief giving birth to wisdom. Everything you are, the cosmos is. This is not poetry, it is reality. Jung believed in the ancient principle of as within, so without. The soul is not trapped in the body. The soul extends beyond it. Every emotion you feel echoes in the quantum field. Every thought ripples across time. You are not an isolated being in a cold, dead cosmos. You are the universe experiencing itself as you. So what happens when you make peace with your shadow? You're not just healing your childhood, you're realigning the geometry of the stars inside you. You're not just feeling better. You're allowing the divine order to return to its original symmetry, because you were never broken, just fragmented, like starlight through a prism. And here's something no one told you. The universe has always known your name, not the one on your passport, the one your heart beats in Morse code when you're alone in the dark. That's the real name, the ancient one, the name you had before you were born, the name only silence remembers. And when you listen, when you really listen, you'll hear the stars say it back to you. So tonight, as your breath slows and your body softens and the borders of your ego dissolve, know this: you are not falling asleep. You are melting into the mirror, the cosmic mirror, where all the stories you've lived, all the wounds you've carried, all the light you've chased finally come together to reveal something you forgot. I am not separate from the universe. I am the universe, remembering itself. You've traveled far tonight, not in miles, but in meaning. You've walked the spiral staircase of your soul into caverns no one else could see. You faced the silence, sat with your forgotten self, and listened to the echoes you used to run from. And now, you are returning. But you are not the same, because something inside you has changed shape. Something scattered has come together. You may not feel it fully yet, but it's there, quiet, alive. This is wholeness. Carl Jung didn't believe enlightenment came from being good, or happy, or pure. He said, enlightenment is not imagining figures of light, but making the darkness conscious. That's what you've done. You've brought the unseen into the light of awareness. You didn't fix yourself, you found yourself. You didn't escape your pain. You listened to it. You didn't kill your shadow. You invited it in, and now you are no longer at war with yourself. This is the cosmic truth. You are not meant to be one thing. You are not meant to be easy or light or soft all the time. You are meant to be everything, the flame and the smoke, the lion and the wound, the child and the storm. To be whole is to hold contradiction without collapsing. It is to love what you once exiled, to name what you once silenced, to bring the orphaned pieces of your psyche back to the fire and say, "You belong." Imagine your soul now as a constellation. Each star is a part of you, the dreamer, the doubter, the artist, the jealous one, the lover, the one who's still angry, the one who wants peace, all of them glowing together in one sky. That's individuation. Not perfection, not ascension, just truth, honest, complex, real. And when those parts stop fighting, when they orbit in harmony, you begin to shine differently. People might not be able to name it, but they'll feel it. They'll say, "There's something about you, like you're fully here." And they'll be right. Because when you're whole, you don't seek permission, you don't need applause. You simply exist with gravity. You become your own sun, not to dominate, but to warm. You become your own moon, not to hide, but to reflect. You become your own cosmos. And the best part? You don't have to try. You just have to remember. So tonight, as your eyes grow heavier and the folds of sleep begin to wrap around you, let this truth settle into your bones. I am allowed to be whole. I am allowed to be me. I am not broken. I am becoming. And even if you wake tomorrow and forget this moment, it will still live in you. The seed is planted and life will do the rest. Close your eyes now, not just to block the light, but to open the gate. You are standing on the threshold of the dream temple, a place older than language, older than thought, older than you. Here, the air is thick with meaning, the walls shimmer with symbols, and everything speaks in a language you once knew before you were born. Let yourself drift inward. There is nothing to figure out, only something to feel. Step by step, you enter a space carved not from stone, but from your own unconscious. This temple is alive, and it is yours. You created it. Every pillar, every flame, every soundless prayer, they are all pieces of you. They have been waiting. Jung believed that our dreams are not nonsense. They are messages from the hidden self, messages from the shadow, messages from the soul. They are the myths you lived through, the ones you forgot, and the ones still waiting to be born. So tonight, you do not fall asleep. You descend into a dream that is not random, but designed. A sacred journey through symbols, archetypes, and inner guides. A return to your deepest self. Take a breath. Let it fall into your belly like a stone into a still pond. Feel the ripples, feel the silence, feel the permission to release control. Because here, control has no power, only trust. You pass through the first veil, a curtain of shimmering gold. On the other side, you see a vast corridor lined with mirrors. But these mirrors do not show your body, they show your truths. Each one reflects a forgotten part of you, a child reaching out with open hands, a beast hiding in the corner with wild eyes, a light too bright to look at directly. You pause, you breathe, and instead of turning away, you nod to each one. "I see you," you say. "You are part of me. You are welcome." And in that moment, they do not disappear, they transform. The child becomes your curiosity, the beast becomes your fire, the light becomes your calling. This is not fantasy, this is alchemy. You are turning shadow into gold. Jung called this the process of symbolic transformation. Your psyche, through images and metaphors, is integrating what logic cannot. Because the soul speaks in stories, not spreadsheets. You are not fixing yourself. You are remembering your wholeness in a language older than thought, a language you once spoke in dreams before anyone taught you how to fear. Now you approach the inner sanctum, a circular chamber lit by a sky you've never seen before. It is not Earth's sky. It is the sky of your soul. There are stars here you've never known, but that have always known you. And in the center of this space is a mirror made of obsidian. You look in and see not your face, but your essence. No name, no roles, no shame, only the quiet, eternal pulse of something infinite disguised as human. You. Let this image stay with you. Let it sink into your chest like a second heartbeat. Tonight, your dreams will not be chaotic. They will be sacred. They will be stories written by your higher self. You will travel through them not as a victim, but as a witness, as a student, as a sacred traveler. You are not escaping life. You are preparing for true awakening. And this temple, this dream, is your rehearsal for wholeness. So sleep now, not to disappear, but to go deeper, to enter the part of yourself that still remembers what the world forgot, that darkness is not the opposite of light. It is the womb of light. And in dreams, that light will speak to you in the only way that makes sense anymore. Not in noise, but in symbols. Sleep has taken you now, but this is not sleep as you knew it. This is the deeper dream, the sacred vision, the soul's theater, and you are the traveler. You awaken beneath a sky that has no sun and no stars, only a soft violet glow that breathes, slowly like lungs. You stand barefoot on a wide, endless desert of black sand. It is warm, not hot, not hostile. It feels like a memory. You take a step, then another, and the sand beneath you whispers, "You've walked here before." This desert is not dead. It is ancient, alive, filled with echoes from your soul. Mountains rise in the distance, but not of rock. These are made of faces, your faces, versions of you from moments you've forgotten. The you who was afraid, the you who wanted to scream, the you who betrayed someone, the you who loved too hard, the you who stayed silent, each one carved like stone giants watching you, but they do not accuse you, they witness you. And for the first time, you do not run from their gaze, you walk further. You come to a river that flows upward. Yes, upward, a silver stream rising toward the sky like liquid smoke. You reach out to touch it, and the moment you do, you remember a dream from years ago, a dream you forgot the second you woke up, a dream where you were falling but not afraid, a dream where someone whispered, "You must lose the sky to find the stars." You didn't understand it then, but now you do, because this river, it is not made of water, it is made of memory. You cup your hands and lift a piece of it to your lips. As it touches your tongue, you see visions. A hallway from your childhood that smelled of dust and pencils. A moment where you laughed so hard you forgot the world. The face of someone who broke your heart, but who also cracked you open. A single sentence someone once said that haunted you for years. The moment you decided you were not enough, and then the moment you decided to come back. You drink, and it doesn't just refresh you, it frees you. Because now you understand, your past is not a prison, it is a map. You continue walking, and now the desert changes. It tilts upward, becomes a steep hill of stardust. The air begins to sing. Yes, sing. Not a melody you know, but one that feels like it belongs to you, like it's written in your blood. You reach the top, and there at the summit you see something floating in the air, a mask. Black on one side, white on the other. You recognize it instantly. It's the mask you've worn your entire life. The you show the world, the smile, the tone, the careful edits. You reach for it, and it shatters in your hand. But there is no fear, only light. Because behind the mask, you see your face, your real face, tired, radiant, honest. And as you stand there, breathing in this moment, the wind speaks again. The shadow was never your enemy. It was your invitation. This is the dream every soul must dream before it awakens whole. This is the myth of returning to yourself. You are not lost, you are not broken, you are not late, you are becoming. Let this vision linger as you drift deeper. Let the desert remain beneath you. Let the stars return above you. Let your mind rest. You've seen what most never dare to look at, and you did not run. You are walking again. But this time the desert is gone. You stand on a bridge of starlight suspended in pure silence. There is no gravity, no fear, only peace. You look below and see galaxies turning like lanterns on a slow wheel. You look above and see nothing, not emptiness, but fullness so complete it cannot be named. And in the distance there is a doorway, floating, waiting. You walk toward it. With every step, you shed another layer. The fear, the mask, the shame, the story. Until all that's left is awareness. Just you, raw, silent, eternal. You reach the doorway. It is carved not from matter, but from memory. Etched with every moment you thought you were not enough. Etched with every dream you let die to survive. Etched with every version of you you buried, to be accepted. You place your hand upon it, and it opens, not outward, but inward. You step inside, and there, in the center of a cosmic void, sits a figure, still, radiant, neither male nor female, neither old nor young, a presence you somehow recognize in your bones. Not a stranger, not a god, not even a guide. It is you, but beyond time, the self, the witness, the one who knows. They do not speak at first, because they don't need to. Their silence says everything. You've arrived. You never left. You've always been me. You sit across from them. You feel their calm pouring into your breath. And then, finally, they speak. Their voice is not sound. It is vibration that echoes through your entire being. You came looking for light, but you needed the dark to find it. You came trying to fix yourself, but there was nothing broken. You believed your shadow was shame, but it was your invitation. You thought you were too much, and yet you are the universe learning how to feel. The figure raises their hand, and in it, a single flame. This is your truth, they whisper, not given, not taught, remembered. The flame floats toward you. You hold out your hand, and it does not burn. It melts into your palm like light returning home, and suddenly you see your entire life as a pattern, not a mistake, not a punishment, a spiral, a return, a becoming. Every heartbreak, every silence, every night you thought would never end, was teaching you how to become this version of you, right now. The guide leans forward. Now, listen. You close your eyes, and their voice becomes the stars. You are not your pain. You are the space it passed through. You are not your fear. You are the one who held it without running. You are not the name you were given. You are the presence behind the name. You are not what happened to you. You are what remained, what endured, what still whispers when the world goes quiet. And in that silence, you hear it. Your own voice. Not the voice you use to perform, not the one you trained to survive, but the original one, the voice behind the stars. Your body relaxes deeper, your heart softens, your mind quiets. You don't need to ask what happens next, you don't need to control the dream, because now you trust it. You trust yourself. And the figure, your eternal self, smiles and slowly fades, not into absence, but into you. You were never separate. You only forgot. You are drifting, not away but back. You are returning, not to what was but to what you are now. The dream has shifted. The void no longer surrounds you. The stars no longer speak. Because now you are carrying them inside. You feel your breath, not just as oxygen, but as rhythm, the sacred rhythm that has carried you since the beginning. The first inhale, the first cry, the first moment of presence. And now, each breath is different, because you are different. The starlit desert, the river of memory, the voice behind the stars, all of it remains, not as hallucination, but as truth. A deeper truth than the surface stories you once lived in. Because now you know you were never broken, you were never unworthy. You were only forgetting the light that was buried in your dark. You were only protecting the parts of you that the world didn't know how to love. And now, Those parts are not in exile. They are returning too. You are walking back through the layers of yourself, the outer masks, the learned roles, the silent vows you made to survive. Don't be too much. Don't be too soft. Don't show the pain. Don't speak the truth. But now, as you pass those layers, they begin to dissolve, because they are no longer needed. The armor that once kept you safe has become too heavy for who you are becoming. So you let it fall, and you walk lighter. The voice of the cosmos returns, not as a whisper now, but as a memory. You are not meant to float forever. You are meant to return and walk the earth as one who remembers. You remember that the shadow is your mirror, that your darkness held your voice, that pain is not the end, but the teacher, that wholeness is not perfection, it is acceptance. You feel your body now, your real body, here, in this world, resting, safe, still breathing, and yet, you are more than just flesh. You are the memory of galaxies, you are the reflection of starlight, you are a cosmic traveler who went within and returned with fire. The dream does not end, it becomes you. Because everything you touched, everything you saw, everything that broke and healed and opened, it now lives in the way you see others, the way you listen, the way you soften instead of judge, the way you stay present when the world spins. You are no longer seeking answers, you are living them. You rest now not as an escape, but as a ritual, because even rest is sacred, even stillness is strength, and even sleep can be a doorway. So as you lie here, in this gentle breath between dream and waking, feel the return. Feel yourself, not the performance, but the presence. The deep, radiant knowing that you do not have to prove or push or hide. You only have to be. And as you drift, let this truth be your gravity. You are the light and the dark. You are the question and the answer. You are the dreamer and the dream. You have returned not to sleep again, but to live differently because of what you saw in the dark. You are returning now, but not to who you were. You are returning as someone who knows their shadow and no longer fears it, as someone who walked through the dark and saw their own reflection in the silence between stars. You are no longer seeking escape. You are seeking presence. The universe speaks again, not from above, but from within. Now, walk the world as one who remembers. Let your breath be a prayer. Let your life be a constellation. Let your choices ripple with truth. Because the true journey was never about escaping pain. It was about becoming so aware that even pain becomes part of the sacred pattern, even suffering becomes a seed, even confusion becomes a compass. You begin to see your life differently now, not as a straight line, but as a spiral. Every loop, every return, every mistake was not a failure. It was an echo, a rhythm, a sacred repetition leading you inward. You weren't going in circles, you were going deeper. And now you've touched the center. The center isn't perfection, it isn't bliss, it's truth. It's the moment you look at your own reflection and whisper, I know you, I see you, I forgive you, let's go home. And now the universe offers you this, a new way of seeing, not with your eyes, but with your awareness. To see your anxiety as a signal, not a flaw. To see your sadness as a teacher, not a punishment. To see your triggers not as explosions, but invitations to heal. To see your past not as a chain, but as a map. The shadow doesn't disappear, it walks with you. But now, you hold its hand. You don't fight it. You don't silence it. You listen. You learn. You grow. And together you become whole. You are not here to be pure. You are here to be real, to cry, to laugh, to rage, to forgive, to feel everything, and still choose presence. The stars whisper again. The one who can stay awake even while hurting is the one who becomes light for others. You are that light, not because you never broke, but because you rose after each shattering. And you didn't pretend it didn't happen. You integrated it. You let your cracks glow. Let these truths be your grounding. You do not need to be fixed. You need to be felt. You do not need to prove your worth. You are already worthy. You do not need to numb the dark. You are capable of holding it with love. You do not need to become someone else. You need to remember who you've always been. You will wake soon. You will stand. You will check your phone. You will walk into rooms and speak your name again, but you will not be the same. You are walking with starlight now. You are carrying the memory of the dream into the day. The final message before full return. Let the people around you be your mirrors. Let conflict be your lesson. Let beauty surprise you. Let discomfort guide you. Let silence teach you. Let presence heal you. And most of all, let your shadow walk beside you as your equal, not your enemy. You are still here, not in the dream, not yet in the day, but floating between them, drifting in that sacred place where nothing is demanded of you, where you don't need to achieve or explain or try. You are simply allowed to exist. Let your breath soften. Let your thoughts dissolve like mist touched by morning light. Let your muscles melt, like snow returning to water, like armor no longer needed. Let your story, for just a moment, rest. The universe whispers now, not as voice but as feeling. It doesn't rush, it doesn't push, it only surrounds you, enfolds you, holds you, and says, you have remembered, you have returned, you are enough. There is nothing left to do tonight. There is nowhere else to be, there is no one else to become. You do not have to chase your purpose. You are living it by resting in your own wholeness. Think of this journey. The shadow you faced, the voice that guided the stars that echoed your name, the pain you held with kindness, the self you remembered in the silence. It's all still with you, like stardust on your skin, like gravity in your breath, like memory carved into the soul. Tonight, you are not falling asleep. You are returning. To what? To the truth that never left you, that your wounds are not shameful, that your darkness has beauty, that your fear is trying to protect you, that your softness is not weakness, that your wholeness is not earned, but remembered. Now the stars offer you these final affirmations. Let them sink beneath your skin. Let them settle in your chest like sacred seeds. Repeat them in your mind, or simply receive them like light through a window. I am not afraid of my shadow. I listen to it with love. I do not need to be perfect to be whole. I am already complete. I forgive the parts of me I once exiled. They were only trying to help. I am not my past. I am the awareness that holds it. I am not alone. The cosmos lives in me. I am not broken. I am breaking open. I am not behind. I am exactly where I need to be. I do not need to rush. I am timeless. I do not need to hide. I am light, and I am ready. You may not remember this in the morning. That's okay. The truth is still there, like a soft current beneath your day, guiding, centering, breathing with you, and when you forget, and you will also remember again. You will return, again and again. If your eyes are still open, let them close like petals at dusk. If your heart is still racing, let it slow with the rhythm of the stars. If your mind still wanders, let it know this. You do not have to protect me tonight, I am safe. Sleep is not the end of consciousness. It is its most sacred form. It is where you become light again, where your spirit returns to the dream of the stars, to rest, to wander, to heal. So go now, not away, but inward, into the ocean of yourself, into the field of starlight behind your mind, and know, as you drift, that this journey is always waiting for you, every night, every breath, every silence. You are the memory of the stars. You are the echo of the cosmos. You are the one who returned, and you are loved. You have arrived, not at the end, but at the place between the self you thought you were and the truth you're starting to remember. You have walked with your shadow. You have listened to forgotten voices. You have remembered the language of symbols and silence. You have become the dream and the dreamer. This is the wisdom that will never leave you. Not because it's written in books, but because it's carved into the stars inside your chest. The universe speaks now, not to teach you anything new, but to remind you of what your soul already knows. So listen, not with your ears, but with the space between your thoughts. The mind tries to awaken by control, but the soul awakens by surrender. You are not broken. You are blooming in ways the world forgot how to see. The darkness you feared was never trying to hurt you. It was trying to come home. You are not here to fix yourself. You are here to witness yourself fully, gently, without turning away. This witnessing is love. It's the most radical cosmic act of all. So tonight, if you do nothing else, do this. Rest. Forgive yourself. Let go of the armor. Let your breath be enough. Let your presence be a prayer. You do not need to use this journey. You do not need to apply it. It is already working on you from within, like moonlight in your bloodstream, like stardust in your memory, like a song you forgot you knew until the moment it played again. Maybe tomorrow someone will ask how you're doing, and maybe you'll say, "I'm okay." But inside, you'll know something deeper. You'll know that you've seen yourself, truly, wholly, cosmically. And no one can take that from you. Now, as you prepare to sleep or wake, depending on where you are, the stars offer this invitation. Return to this space whenever you need it. This voice, this dream, this silence, it's not a YouTube video, it's a portal. A doorway to the truth you carry inside you every day you forget. And if you feel the pull to go deeper, if you feel the ache to remember more, if you want to walk this cosmic path again and again, follow that pull, subscribe to the journey, return whenever the world feels too loud. Because we are just beginning. Each story, each whisper, each night is a thread in a larger remembering. So if this spoke to you, not just to your ears but to your being, then let yourself come back. Let yourself become part of this cosmic remembering. This is not a channel, this is a sacred mirror. Subscribe, not to a feed, but to your own awakening. Let this space be your return, not just once, but always. Now, release. Release the need to understand. Release the need to remember. Release even this voice. The journey is yours now. It lives in you. And as the stars once said, you are not just made of light. You are here to carry it through every shadow into the world. Sleep now or rise now, but do so knowing the dream was real. And so are you. Let me tell you a story. Not from a book, not from a philosophy, but from the silence that existed before the first star took its breath. It is a story older than time, one that only whispers itself to those who are ready to hear with the heart instead of the mind. Tonight that one is you, the mirror of the moon. There once was a soul drifting alone in the night sky. She was not lost, but she had forgotten why she was glowing. She wandered from star to star, asking them questions. What am I? Why do I feel so much? Why do I carry darkness inside me even though I shine? But the stars had no answer. They only twinkled gently, smiling like elders who know but will not speak. So the soul floated farther, into deeper space, into darker space, until she reached the edge of the cosmos, where no stories were told, where light had not yet remembered itself. And there, in the silence behind all things, she saw a mirror, floating in the void, ancient, cracked, silver like the moon. The soul looked into it. At first, she saw only darkness, only what she had tried to forget, only the wounds, the fears, the faces she'd buried. She turned away. But something, some voice that wasn't a voice, told her, "Look again." And this time, she did not flinch. She stared into the mirror and saw something new. The darkness was her, but it wasn't wrong. It was her sadness that made her kind. It was her rage that made her bold. It was her confusion that made her curious. It was her loneliness that made her long for the light. And suddenly, the mirror changed. It began to glow. Each shadow became a star. Each scar became a constellation. Each fear, a galaxy waiting to be named. And in that moment, that one eternal breath, The soul remembered. I am not just made of light. I am made of what holds the light. I am not here to escape the dark. I am here to become whole within it. I am the moon, and the mirror, and the night itself. And so she returned, back to the stars, back to the world, back to herself. But she was never the same. For now she walked not as one who feared the dark, but as one who knew it, held it, loved it. And the stars whispered behind her, "The shadow is not the end of the road. It is the doorway." Now, dear listener, dear dreamer, dear traveler of inner space, this story is not just about some faraway soul. This story is yours. You have held the mirror. You have seen the shadow. You have remembered your light. And you will forget again. And remember again. That is not failure. That is life. So carry this myth with you. Not in your thoughts, but in your silence. Not in your plans, but in your pauses. Let it echo in your dreams. Let it guide your tenderness. Let it be your permission to feel, to soften, to remember again and again. You are the moon. Even when you forget to shine, the tide remembers you. You are safe now. There is nothing else to solve, nothing else to understand, nothing left to become. The shadow has spoken. The stars have listened. And you have remembered. Let the words go now. Let them fall away like leaves in a stream, like echoes in a canyon, like dreams dissolving into morning. You don't need to carry this story with your mind. Just let it sink slowly into your bones. Let it rest with you. Now, inhale gently. Hold. Exhale softly. Once more. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Feel your body now. Your jaw is soft. Your eyes are heavy. Your hands are warm. You are not broken. You are held. There is no test at the end of this journey. There is no prize to earn. There is no final revelation. The truth is simple and quiet, and here, you are allowed to rest. You've walked through the shadow. You've listened to the ancient voice. You've sat with the parts of you that long to be loved. Now, let them sleep. Let your heart be the pillow. Let your soul exhale. You are not falling asleep. You are returning to the deepest part of yourself, the part that dreams in symbols, the part that speaks in stars, the part that already knows. Let go of the breath now. Let it take its own path. Don't control, just observe. The inhale, the exhale, like waves on the shore of some distant moon. Feel how still the night has become. Feel how wide the silence is now. It is not empty. It is full of you. You don't have to do anything now. You don't have to be anyone now. You can just be. Let the images drift now. The moon, the mirror, the stars you touched, the shadow that smiled back. Let them become soft like fog in a forest, like mist across a lake. Let them float. Let them fade. Let them carry you inward. There is no more voice. There is only presence. A gentle reminder from the cosmos. You are already whole. You are already enough. You are already loved. So close your eyes now. If they're not already closed, let them fall gently. No force, no effort, just gravity, just softness. And with your last waking thought, whisper to yourself, I accept myself, even the shadow, especially the shadow. I welcome myself home. Then let the universe take it from here. Let the stars do their work. Let the dream begin. No need to say goodbye. Only good night. The darkness is not the absence of light. It is the womb of light. Sleep there. I am not here to be perfect. I am here to be whole. I am allowed to feel everything and still rest. My shadow is not my enemy. It is the part of me waiting to be loved. I do not need to fear my darkness. It holds the seed of my light. The parts I've hidden are sacred. The parts I've feared and are wise. The parts I've denied are calling me home. I am not broken. I am becoming. My dreams know more than my thoughts. I trust the wisdom of my sleep. I do not chase peace. I become still, and peace finds me. I am not what I achieve. I am what I am becoming in the quiet. Even when I forget who I am, the stars remember. I am loved. Even when I feel lost, even when I fall silent, even when I don't know what's next. There is no timeline, there is only now. I trust the process of becoming, even when it looks like falling apart. My light does not need to shine all the time. The moon wanes too. It is safe for me to rest, it is safe for me to soften, it is safe for me to not know. I am held, always, even when I don't feel it. I am stardust, remembering itself. I let go of what no longer fits and welcome what is waiting to emerge. I do not resist the shadow. I listen, I learn, I become. I am a cosmic soul, having a human moment, and that is beautiful. I don't have to try so hard to be enough. I already am. The universe does not rush, neither do I. I am not lost. I am in a sacred pause. I let go. I breathe. I sleep. I trust. I soften. I dream. I am safe. I am whole. I am home. If this helped you rest, subscribe for more cosmic stories. This universe has many whispers yet to come. You're always welcome here. And so, the journey draws to a close. Not with answers, but with silence, with softness, with something inside you that no longer needs to search. You've seen your shadow. You've heard the voice behind the stars. You've walked barefoot through the terrain of your own soul. And now, you return. Not backwards, not smaller, but deeper. Into your body, into your breath, into the quiet truth you've always carried. You were never incomplete. The universe inside you is vast. Some nights it storms, some nights it sings, but always it waits for you. Not to change, not to achieve, but to remember that you are not the thoughts you think, not the mask you wear, not the noise you navigate. You are the space beneath it all. You are the stillness between stars. You are the ancient spark woven through time and gravity and breath. Let that truth stay with you now, as you drift into sleep or stay quietly awake. Let it hum beneath your skin. Let it pulse through your chest like a second heartbeat. Soft, eternal, yours. And if your eyes close, let them close with kindness. If they stay open, let them rest in wonder. There is no wrong way to be here. There is only this moment, and it is enough. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be seen. You are allowed to begin again. And when you wake, hours from now, or moments from now, you may not remember every word. You may not remember this journey, but the soul does. The body remembers what the mind forgets, and you will move through the world a little softer, a little stronger, a little more you. So for now, lay your sword down, close the book, extinguish the lamp. The stars will watch over you, the shadow will rest beside you, and the cosmos will keep whispering, long after the story ends. If this journey held you tonight, you're invited to return. Subscribe for more stories from the edge of the self. The universe speaks in many voices, and this is only the beginning. Sleep well, Stardust. Sleep whole.